The vase shattered against the wall. A scream of porcelain that drowned out the thud of my heart. "You're free to go." Sarah's voice cracked like a whip, her eyes blazing with a fury I'd never seen in our 12 years together. Her words hung in the air, sharp and jagged, slicing through the quiet hum of our suburban kitchen. I stood frozen, my hands gripping the edge of the counter, the cold granite grounding me as the world tilted. Free? The word felt like a lie, a taunt, because Sarah had always been the one holding the reins. Our marriage wasn't a prison, not exactly, but it had walls. Ones she'd built with her sighs, her silences, her subtle ways of making me feel small. "You'd be lost without me," she'd say with a laugh, her hand brushing my arm, and I'd smile because I believed her. She was the one who planned our days, chose our friends, decided which dreams were worth chasing. I loved her for it. Or at least I told myself I did. But tonight, something in her voice was different, desperate, almost afraid. I didn't know why, but it made my skin prickle. The argument had started small, as they always did. A forgotten anniversary dinner, my late nights at the office, her clipped tone when I asked about her day. But this time it spiraled. Her phone buzzed on the counter, a name flashing, Mark, and she snatched it up too quickly, her fingers trembling. "Work," she muttered, avoiding my eyes. I didn't push, not then. I never did. But the air felt heavy, like a storm was gathering, and I couldn't shake the image of that name, glowing like a warning sign. I turned away, my jaw tight, and started rinsing dishes, the water scalding my hands. "You don't trust me, do you?" she said, her voice softer now, almost pleading. I didn't answer. I couldn't. Trust was a word we'd worn thin over the years, stretched until it snapped. There were the late nights she spent at the gallery. The perfume that lingered on her coat, the way her laughter felt sharper, like it was meant for someone else. I'd ignored it all, chalking it up to my own paranoia. I loved her too much to see the truth. But tonight, I couldn't unsee it. "Who's Mark?" I asked, my voice low, steady, though my chest ached like it was caving in. She froze, her wineglass halfway to her lips. "A colleague," she said too fast, her eyes darting to the floor. "You've met him." Had I? My mind raced, sifting through memories of gallery openings, her co-workers' faces blurring together. I didn't remember a Mark, but I remembered her smile, brighter, freer, when she talked about work lately. A cold dread settled in my gut. "Then why's he texting you at 10 p.m.? I pressed, turning to face her. The kitchen felt smaller, the walls closing in. Her lips parted, but no words came. She set the glass down, her hand shaking, and that's when I saw it, the crack in her armor. Guilt. It flickered in her eyes, raw and unguarded, before she buried it behind a scowl. "You're being ridiculous," she snapped, but her voice wavered. I stepped closer, my pulse hammering. "Show me the phone, Sarah." Her face hardened, but her fingers clutched the phone like a lifeline. "This is why we're falling apart," she said, her voice rising. "You suffocate me. You're always watching, always questioning." She was deflecting, and I knew it, but her words still stung. Was I the problem? Had I driven her to this? The doubt crept in, familiar and insidious, but then her phone buzzed again, and my resolve hardened. "Show me." I repeated, my voice like steel. She laughed, a bitter sound, and threw her hands up. "Fine. Leave then. If you don't trust me, just go." The words hit like a slap, but they didn't break me. Not this time. I looked at her, really looked, and saw the woman I'd loved, the one I'd built a life with, but also someone else. Someone hiding. Someone scared. And for the first time, I didn't want to fix it. I walked to the bedroom, my footsteps heavy on the hardwood floor. The air smelled of her lavender candles, a scent that used to calm me but now felt like a lie. I pulled a duffel bag from the closet, my hands moving on autopilot. Shirts, socks, a toothbrush. Each item felt like a step toward something I couldn't name. Freedom? Loneliness? I didn't know. All I knew was that I couldn't stay in a house built on secrets. Sarah followed, her voice softer now, fraying at the edges. "What are you doing?" she asked, standing in the doorway, her arms crossed tight. I didn't look at her. "You told me to go," I said, zipping the bag. My voice was calm, but inside, I was unraveling. Every memory of us, our first date, her laugh in the rain, the way she'd curl into me at night, clashed with the truth I was starting to see. She'd betrayed me. Not just with Mark, but with every lie, every half-truth, every moment she'd let me believe I was enough. David, stop. Her voice broke, and when I turned, her eyes were wet, her face pale. You don't have to do this. She stepped closer, her hand reaching for me. But I stepped back, the bag slung over my shoulder. The distance between us felt like a chasm. You said I'm free. I said, my throat tight. So I'm going. I moved toward the front door, the house eerily quiet except for the creak of the floorboards. The living room was a museum of our life together. Photos on the mantel, her art on the walls, the couch where we'd watched movies until dawn. It all felt foreign now, like someone else's story. My hand was on the doorknob when she grabbed my arm, her grip desperate. Wait, she whispered, her voice raw. I didn't mean it. Please, David, I turned, and the sight of her, tears streaming, her perfect facade crumbling, almost broke me. Almost. Who is he, Sarah? I asked, my voice barely above a whisper. She flinched, her hand falling away. The silence that followed was louder than any scream. Her lips trembled, and she looked away, her shoulders sagging under the weight of the truth she couldn't say. I thought I was enough, I said, the words spilling out, jagged and raw. I thought we were enough. Her sob was soft, but it hit me like a punch. She reached for me again, but I opened the door, the night air cold against my skin. David, please, she begged, her voice cracking. I love you. I swear I don't. I cut her off, my eyes burning. You don't get to say that now. I stepped outside, the porch light casting long shadows across the lawn. The street was silent, the stars indifferent above. I didn't look back, but I heard her cry. A sound that would haunt me for years. A sound that said she'd lost something she thought she'd never lose. I walked to my car, the duffel bag heavy in my hand. Her words had set me free, but they'd chained her to regret. As I drove away, the house shrinking in the rearview mirror, I realized the truth. Her betrayal hadn't broken me. It had woken me. And for the first time in years, I was my own.